Okay, today I'm going to show you how to use IronCAD to do some basic 3D modeling. To start with, you're going to need to know how to open IronCAD. You can go to your Start button. Now, you may have a shortcut up here if it has been opened recently, but it's likely that you may need to go to All Programs, and then you may need to find the IronCAD folder. So you're looking for the folder that says IronCAD. Inside of the IronCAD folder, you're going to see that you have a shortcut that is called IronCAD 2014 X64. So we're going to go ahead and click on the IronCAD 2014 X64 shortcut, and that's going to allow IronCAD to open up here. IronCAD does use up a lot of processor power and resources, so make sure you don't have a lot of extra windows and tabs open. Okay, go ahead and click on Create a New Scene Document if it's not selected, and then click OK. We're going to use metric units of measurement, millimeters to be precise. So select the metric tab in the middle, and then let's use blue as our background, and click OK. This is going to bring you to the basic IronCAD window. In this window, I want to describe a few commonly used elements. We need to make sure that our scene browser, this is the scene browser here on the left-hand side of our screen. This is a place where we can go and we can see our part history and we can make changes. We will want to have the scene browser open. We can also view properties of different items. It may be closed. I'm closing out of mine right now. So if your screen looks like this, I'm going to show you how to get it back. Also, on the opposite side of the screen over here on the right, you'll see that we have the catalog browser. The catalog browser contains shapes that we'll be dragging and dropping into our scene to create our 3D model. It may be closed as well. If it's closed, I'll show you how to get it back. At the bottom of our screen, we have the status bar. The status bar contains many useful tools that we'll be using, such as Fit Scene, the different view options here, our selection tool. So it may be gone as well. If it's gone, I'm going to show you how to get it back. We're going to start by going to the Common tab. Underneath the Common tab here, you're going to see that we have a scene browser. We're going to click that little arrow and select Scene Browser, and it comes back. You also see that we have a catalog browser. Let's click the little arrow and bring back our catalog browser. Underneath the catalog browser is the status bar. So if your status bar down here is missing, you can get it back by coming up here. Now, obviously, mine is here, but if it's missing, like it is now, just come up here to Catalog Browser and click on Status Bar. Now we're ready to begin. We're going to start by dragging a block and dropping it on the center of our screen. We're going to left click on that block one time after we've dropped it, and you see it turns yellow and we get these red push pins. We're going to right click on any of the push pins. You can right click on it. It will pop up a menu, and we want to edit the size box. Now for our particular cell phone holder, we have to stay in a box that is sized 40 millimeters wide, 40 millimeters in length, and 100 millimeters tall. Now, you can change the width and length and height. Like, for example, you could put 100 for the length, 40 for the width, and 40 for the height. But you must maintain that 40, 40, 100 millimeter measurements. If you want to make it 100 wide instead of 100 tall, that's fine. Just switch that up. But for the particular cell phone model that I'm going to show you how to create, we're going to leave it 40, 40, and 100 tall. And we're going to click on OK. Now we're going to left click on our scene window right here, and that's going to finish that command. Think of this as a block of plastic. We're going to carve away all of the parts of this that we don't need for our cell phone holder. Let's start by clicking on Fit Scene, You can see that it zooms in a little bit. And now we're going to go to the Feature tab up top here. See the Feature tab right here? Click on Feature, and underneath of it, you'll see Extrude Wizard. Go down to the little drop-down arrow, click that little arrow, and select Extrude Wizard. We want the Extrude Wizard selected. While it is selected, anything we hover over of our shape, our block that we put in here, is going to turn green. So you can see that we have different options we could click on. We want to click on this option here. So see the dot in the middle? When I hover over it, turns green. Left click on that dot, and then up here in this pop-up window, select Remove Material. That's the only item that we're going to change, and we're going to click on Finish. Now we're ready to start designing our 3D model. In other words, we're going to draw our basic shape, and I'll show you how to remove the excess material. To begin with, we're going to need to know how to use a two-point line. A two-point line is a very powerful tool we can make precise measurements with, and we can make lines that are exactly any dimension. So let's left click on the lower right hand corner, drag a line over to the lower left hand corner, and when you see the green dot, let go. I'm going to fit scene here just so it zooms in a little bit. Okay, so we've made a line, and if we want to know the length of that line, you can come up here, see in the length window in our properties tab here, our length window, it's exactly 40 millimeters. That's the exact size we made it when we edited our original block that we dropped in, 40 by 100. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and let's draw another line. Let's draw a line, a two-point line. I'm going to left click here, and I'm dragging from the lower left-hand corner up to the upper right-hand corner, and I let go. Okay, so we have a shape that looks like this. It is important, very important, that all of your lines are connected or snapped to the end of each other. If they are not, you are going to get an error, and your object will not finish extruding correctly. So just be sure that you're snapping your lines to the ends as you are creating them and to one another. Okay, so we're going to do another two-point line. We need a little tray for our cell phone holder to sit on. So let's go ahead and let's make us a little tray here. I'm going to do a two-point line. I'm going to go probably about, let's go right about here. I'm going to left click right on my line, and see this green line that's showing me that I'm making a line that is tangent or has a 90-degree angle where it joins with my existing line. I'm going to press the tab key while I'm holding the left button down of my mouse, and you'll see that when I press the tab key once, it changes the focus in my property window of my scene browser to the length field. I'm going to enter a length of 10 because I want this line to be exactly 10 millimeters in length, and I'm going to press enter. Okay, now I have a line that is exactly 10 millimeters in length. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to give all of these lines that I have made so far, I'm going to give them some thickness so that we're basically creating the shell or the phone holder. So I'm going to left click down here in this lower right hand corner and drag up, and I'm going to press the tab key on my keyboard one time, change the focus to my length field in my properties window of the scene browser, and I want to enter a distance of 3 millimeters and press enter. And okay. So now we have this little line is exactly 3 millimeters. We're going to left click here. We're going to drag straight over, and we're going to drop it where this line intersects. You know what? Just to show you, you can drag you can drag further, and that's fine. I'll show you how to trim that off later. Okay. Now I'm going to, now I want to create a line. I want to create a line that is 3 millimeters from here, like this. So I'm going to press the tab key, enter 3, press enter. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect some of these lines. So I'm left clicking, dragging straight up to the top here. And I'm going to stop at the edge of my block. I'm going to left click, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the trim command now. So use the trim command and go ahead and just trim this line out and trim this line out. And then let me show you how to use the selection tool. Come down here to this selection tool and click the selection tool. See this line right, this point on the line? Let's grab that end point and just drag it down, making sure that, you know, we have that green. And I see I'm going to zoom just a, okay, let's try this again. I zoomed out just a little bit. And what I'm looking for is I'm trying to get that line. As I drop it, I see it's kind of hard to do. Right there, see that green, those green lines extending down? We want to extend them down to this line here. And I see that that is, as soon as I click it, it seems like that's going away. Excuse me. But go ahead and drag that down. I'll show you how to fix that. I'll show you how to fix that later. We want that to be dragged down. I'm not sure why we're losing that green line, but we're gonna go. We'll go there, and I'm gonna zoom in because I'm not for sure where my 3 millimeter line has gone. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do another 2-point line, and I'm going to left click right here, and I'm dragging this so that it is tangent to that. I'm going to put in exactly 3, enter. Control, actually, I want it to be actually want it to be tangent to this other line, so I'm going to drag this up. 2-point line, left click, drag down. Okay, there we go. So we want it to be exactly 3. We let go. We're good. So now we can connect these together. And this way we know that this thickness here is exactly 3. This thickness here is exactly 3. Let's go ahead and let's make this have a thickness of exactly 3 millimeters as well. So I'm going to come down, and it looks like if I go 3, we're going to be possibly going off of our block. Well, it looks like we just fit on there. So now we're going to connect this so that is 3 millimeters. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to take and we're going to trim away some of these lines. So I'm going to my trim command. It's found under the sketch tab here. And I'm trimming this one, this one, this one, and I'm even going to trim off this line here. Now, when you see me zooming in and out, I'm just using the scroll button on my mouse, and it's going to zoom in and out based on the point that your cursor is located on the screen. I do want to connect these lines here with a 2-point line. So I'm going to left click that top dot and come down to the dot on the end of this line. Now we have our basic shape. A couple of things I want to show you real quick. The fillet command. We can make curves with the fillet command. So let's use the fillet command. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to grab this point, and I'm just going to basically pull it this way That makes a nice fillet or curve there. I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, this is going to make this cell phone holder stronger, and it's going to not have as many sharp pointy edges. And we're really ready to extract or cut away this material my mouse is hovering over right now. Okay, I also want to get rid of this material and this material where my mouse is hovering. To do that, we're going to trim away this bottom line. We have to trim away that bottom line because this inside material here, this is the material that actually makes up our cell phone holder that's between these lines. We want to keep all of this material, so we can't have it surrounded. The way IronCAD extrusion works is it cuts away any material that is surrounded, completely surrounded by a line. So let's do a polyline, and we're going to left click right here, and I'm going to drag my line. I'm going to drag my line over, left click again. I'm going to drag it up, left click, over, left click, down, left click, and then up, left click. And just like that, I have my line surrounding this material. So all of this material is going to get cut off. All of this material is going to get cut off, including this little piece of material down here. However, this material inside where my mouse is right now, that's inside of our cell phone holder shape, is not going to be removed because it is not surrounded. So we're going to click on finish, and you can see that what it's going to do. It gives you a little preview. Left click here, and just like that is our basic cell phone holder shape. Our cell phone holder is going to sit right here. Our cell phone is going to sit right here. So now you can hold down your trackball, click your scroll button on your mouse, and you can see that you can orbit this shape to see it from any angle. And if you want to go back to a certain view, you can come down here to your status bar and click this little arrow. Let's say we want to look at it from the bottom. So you can look at it. It just looks like a square. Let's say we want to look at it from the left. There it is from the left side. If we want to look at it from the front, okay. So we can change this to any view that we want to look at it from, and that is the basic quick introduction to using IronCAD. One other quick thing that I want to show you is I want to show you how to use the extrude command, go in and edit something. So we're going to use extrude to go in and edit this right here. And we're going to extrude this out so that we have a part where we can plug in our cell phone connection. So what we need to do is we need to come up here and select part one, and we're going to click on the extrude here. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Let me start over. We're going to select extrude wizard here. So we select the extrude wizard. We click on the face of this part, and we're going to click on remove material. And let me do this again. Extrude wizard, click on the face, click on remove material, and click finish. Okay, we're now ready to create a notch in the shelf of our cell phone holder where we can plug in the cell phone. To do that, let's use a 2-point line. Let's left click and drag down a distance of 10 millimeters. And let's see here. Did we get that? So I'm going to use my selection tool. I'm clicking this line. The length is 7.5. I need that to be 10. I'm entering 10. Press enter. Now we have a 10 millimeter length line. Now I'm going to take this 2-point line and I'm going to left click right here. I am dragging, I want to drag this a distance of 20. So I'm going to press tab and go 20 and hit enter. And then I'm going to left click and drag straight down here again, do tab and press 20 and hit enter. I am going to left click and drag this way. I'm doing 20, and I'm going to connect these together. And now I'm going to use the trim command one more time. I'm going to trim off this initial line that we used to position our square. And I am going to go ahead and click on finish. And you can see now how that is going to create a hole. Gives you a little preview. Just left click here, and there's our hole. Now, you might be like, well, I want that hole to take away some of this block here. To do that, what you're going to want to do, click on extrude, and then you can pull these arrows to make that take away more material from your shape. So just like that, left click. Okay, now you can see we have a nice little spot where we can plug in our cell phone charger. And we might even want to take away a little bit more here. Let's take away. I'm going to take away just a little more. I'm going to go all the way through. Okay, so there we go. So our cell phone sits up here. We can plug in our charger. That's all there is to it. And the last thing, go up to File, go up to this IronCAD symbol, click on File, and select Save As, and save this to your My Documents folder. And you can just save it by naming it Cell Phone Holder, and click on Save, and you're done.